Hello, good morning, Onyx Path Con. It is Saturday morning, and where we are, it is 8 o'clock in the morning, so pardon that brief technical error. It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, you can tell
It's the 40s, pinky up.
I spelt it wrong.
What'd you spell wrong?
I said good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to everyone.
Morning, everyone. Good
All
morning.
right, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to Onyx Path Publishing Con. We are the crew from Dork Tales, graciously being hosted here on Occultists Anonymous. It is fantastic to be here. We are running a Chronicles of Darkness game today that is... it's set in 1946 in Hollywood, at the end of the era of science fiction. We're really happy to be here. If you like what we do, you can come and find us over on twitch.tv/dorktales or youtube.com/dorktales as well. And definitely, if you're tuning in for the first time, give Occultists Anonymous a follow and see what they do. They do fantastic content on this channel, and you're going to see them running a bunch of stuff throughout the convention as well. Check the schedule. You can check us all out and see what you like to watch. Today, we are running directly out of the book Dark Eras 2. Which is a fantastic compendium of historical eras of darkness throughout human history, and history that might not be so human. We are running The Fear and Golden Promise of Tomorrow, which is going to be a fantastic time. We've got a 3-hour tight block to run this in, so we're going to get started in just a second. I am going to introduce myself and my players now. So hi, I'm Kelle. I'm the DM, ST, Game Master, and General Host over at Dork Tales. I'm a writer and performer, and I use he and him pronouns. And thank you for having me on this channel, Occultists Anonymous. I'm going to pass it over to my left, Robin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. Also going to be a second-gen gamer in the chat. I use she/they pronouns, and tonight I am playing Thelma Valentine.
I like that we do this so much at night that we're just defaulting to tonight, all of us
Yeah.
are.
Did I say tonight?
Yeah, you did.
You did. It's got reflex at this point.
It's our script. It's a dinner
script that was
party,
just-
though.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and
Dinner
if you
party,
can-
so
if
it
you
is
can-
tonight.
If you can tell me a tiny bit about your character, that would be great.
Okay, so she is a she's now a slightly struggling actress. She's
Why is she
unfortunately been
struggling?
black.
She looks so lovely.
Yeah, that's because she has a rich husband right now.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
but she's been blacklisted because she unfortunately was seen at a wrong party. So she's a little struggling for work right now, but hopefully she gets a next big break soon.
All right. Over the corner, we have Jack Rose, played by James.
Hello, I'm James, and I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Jack Rose, a sci-fi writer who's basically struggling to try to kind of keep afloat and make his name in the world, but has seemingly been popular enough to get invited to some things. So I'm getting somewhere.
Nice. Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitch occasionally as Otheon, otherwise mostly over at the Dork Tales crew. So pretty much you can look me up there. Yeah.
Let's go down in the corner with the youngest old lady that I've seen in a while. Hi, Tasha.
Hello, dears. My name is Natasha Tuskovich. You can find me on Twitch and the rest of the internet at Natasha Tuskovich Designs. And today I am playing Helen Edelmann, who is 72 years young, and she is the wife of a studio owner, and he has unfortunately passed on. So she is now a studio owner in Hollywood.
Nice. And next up, we have Christa.
Christa, you're on mute.
I really, I was like,
I like
"Hi,
that you
guys,
caught
I'm
it the
muted."
second.
Well, the Zoom has a thing that pops up that says, "Hey, you're muted, idiot." It's a very useful tool.
It's true.
Hi, guys. I'm Christa. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns. Today, I am going to be playing Delores Young, who is a investigative journalist. partial novelist in her spare time, but definitely with a bit of a nose for the occult. Sort of think, if you're familiar with the Dresden Files, Susan Rodriguez wants to be a serious journalist, but then was like, oh, the supernatural's real, so we should probably talk about this and maybe look into it a little bit. But she's very early on in that journey of maybe she experienced something and is like, well, let's maybe keep an eye out for something like this. You can find me in the chat as JahistaFX. You can also find me on TikTok as JahistaFX, where I talk about lots of nerdy things and cosplay.
Fantastic. And finally, in the corner, we have the other Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Hi, I'm Kelle. My name is actually Kelly, but I go by Kelle, and I'm from up the road.
You got here second.
Because I got here. No, I actually got here first.
You get not to this channel. Anyway.
Chronologically though, I got here first. As I said, I'm Kelle, and I use she, her pronouns. And today I am playing Alfreida Bayley, who is she's a radio actress with RKO, as well as she is a gossip journalist secretly on the side.
Fantastic. All right, so
yes.
I'm going to run through the rules very quick because some of you are a little new to Chronicles of Darkness. If you're watching, this is a world of a world where the things in the shadows, well, they're not just imaginary, although humanity probably still thinks they are. The war has just ended. We're in 1946 Hollywood, and here y'all are basically, we're playing Hunter the Vigil, but this is more of an origin story, so you won't have any superpowers or anything like that. You will have an additional ability that I'm going to outline in just a second. We're using D10s. So 10-sided dice. Generally, what you'll be doing in this game is assembling what are called dice pools. That is where I will tell you two stats that you will use together. For example, you throw a punch, I will ask for strength and brawl. You'll take the two stats, combine them together, roll that many dice against a set difficulty of 8. Every single success that you roll, every 8 that you roll, a 9 or 10, is a success. If you roll a 10, you can roll it for additional dice. Additional successes. There we go. No. 8 o'clock. Anyway, I'm waking up.
Sorry, what dice did you say we're using?
D10s. So just like when we used to play like old World of Darkness games and stuff. You're always going for 8s. 10s always explode. If I tell you have something called 9 again lets you reroll 9s as well. Oh, yeah. If you have 8 again by some miracle, then you get to reroll those as well. I will also tell you that you get minuses or pluses on rolls depending on situations. And if you so choose, you can always suggest, hey, do I get any bonus? Do I get any equipment bonus from having certain things? You might. You never know. So just ask me. The system's very generous with penalties and bonuses. In fact, I believe that while surfing the internet, you get a +2 bonus for using a computer. Anyway.
In 1946?
In 1946, you'll get a +10 bonus.
I can get some bonus, that's for sure.
And then a -50.
Do I have the UNIVAC in a basement somewhere?
Yeah, basically. Okay. So the last things that you need to know are in any type of combat. We won't have any combat, but there are 3 general actions you can do. You can move, defend, and act. You can choose to sacrifice 2 of those things to do one of them even better. Okay? It's called an all-out attack. Means that you just put all of your effort into a single attack, but sacrifice your defense and movement. You can just run, which is running, or you can all-out defend. Okay, these are 3 different things that you can do by sacrificing the other 2 options. There we go. Finally, you have a stat on your sheet called willpower. It should probably be in the range of, well, it's minimum 2 and maximum 10 on your sheet. A willpower point, when you spend it, adds 3 dice to your roll. Okay? If you have penalties that reduce your dice pool to negatives, you'll be able to buy yourself hopefully out of the hole with that. And then the last thing is, because you are mundane humans dealing with the supernatural, you are going to gain an ability called risking willpower. Here's the way that it works. Okay? In any scene where you are in a direct pursuit of the vigil, dealing with monsters, dealing with the supernatural in general, anything that you think your character believes is supernatural will also work, in my opinion. This includes finding lairs, resisting power, setting traps. This does not include perception-based things or avoiding ambushes. Basically, you have to know that you're doing this, okay? So risking willpower, instead of spending it, you may do once a scene. What it does, you may choose 2 of the following benefits to apply instead of just the standard 3-point bonus. So 3-point bonus. Achieve an exceptional success, so a critical, on 3 successes instead of 5. If you get 5, it's awesome. Gain +1 to an attack weapon's damage bonus. So if a weapon normally does +1, now it does +2. Pretty good, because damage is automatic in this system. Gain the 9 again quality on your roll, meaning that 9s and 10s reroll. Remove the 10 again quality from an opponent's roll that contests you. So if you're having an arm wrestling match, you can spend it to just go over the top like Stallone. And that's the only things that will apply to you. The best part about this is you get 2 of those instead of just 1. And in addition to the action success, you will gain a beat and regain the willpower you have risked plus another point of willpower up to your maximum. Now, we're not using beats because this is a one-shot, so what I am going to do to make sure that you spend it like water is I am going to award you any time in this game where you would gain a beat, which is this system's form of experience. I'm going to reward you a willpower point, which means for this, I guess I'm going to be rewarding you 2 willpower points back when you successfully risk. The downside of risking is if you fail the roll, you dramatically fail. And you spent that willpower. So that sucks. Also, the other times that you can regain points of willpower, each of you should have on your sheet 3 aspirations. I believe that we all created those. If for some reason that was missed during the character creation, these are 3 things that you as the player would like to have happen during the game that you have narrative control over. So, for example, have sex in a closet.
That one's for me, dearie.
Yeah, grandma. You're the sexy grandma from the 90s comedies with Adam Sandler.
Actually, that's like legit fair for this character. Holy shit.
So if you'll have those aspirations, if they happen, just call them out and be like, hi, I just fulfilled my aspiration. And I'll be like, boom, willpower. That can't take you over your willpower max, though. So, boom. Okay, anybody have any questions before we begin? Robin, I know you need to tweak a light real quick. So go do that. And I am just going to grab a book, and then we're going to start.
Woo-hoo.
Don't tell Kelly, but I definitely forgot to do aspirations.
I definitely don't remember him discussing aspirations. So yeah, don't have those.
Yeah.
We're all just like typing.
Yeah, all quickly just what's an aspiration?
There was clapping. What happened?
Nothing at all.
We
We totally all have aspirations. Definitely, that's the thing. Why would you think otherwise?
I mean,
Rhubarb.
if you don't, you don't.
Rhubarb.
We're saying you totally didn't go over that during character creation. None of us have it.
To be fair, we all did very rushed character creation.
I absolutely did go over that, but okay. I definitely...
It was mentioned. I know I vaguely heard it while I was reading a bunch of other stuff.
I definitely did it with the pirates, too. So any of you who are in the pirate game tomorrow, you better have it. Okay, I'm going to give you super short-term aspirations right now. Then we're going to start in 1 minute. Find a new job. Find out why my sister hasn't called me back. Get beat up by the school bully. Remember, this is something that you, not the character, wants. Suffer lethal damage. Indulge my addiction. Mug someone. Put myself in mortal danger. See a ghost. Show myself I'm not cursed. Then there are long-term ones. I mean, unless you really nail it in one, become a parent probably won't work this episode. Destroy the beast that killed my lover. Prove the supernatural exists. Prove my mother isn't crazy. Put my daughter's ghost to rest.
Crazy.
She's not crazy. She's just German. Anyway,
Same thing.
same. I mean, I'm German and know a lot of German, so.
I have German back
Yes.
in the heritage.
The best thing about Germans is that they can take a joke.
Yeah.
They just won't give it back. No, anyway. All right. So, folks, we're going to start our game right now. Hello, Christine. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you are not waking up or getting out of bed anytime soon because it's It's Monday. All right. Hey, thank you so much, Occultist Anonymous, for hosting us here. By the way, if you like them, give them a follow right now. I can't see when you do that, but thank you for doing that. Okay.
We trust that you did. Yes.
I trust you. Okay. So got that up, and let us begin. Oop, that's the wrong one.
That woke me up.
Yep, that was my goal.
There we go.
Good morning.
It's late October. Just cusping on Halloween in Hollywood. Leaves don't gather here like they do back east, but there is a sense of palatable macabre in the air. The shops are closing a bit earlier. People are spending a bit more money now that they're back. The war is slowly fading into people's memories. And although the wounds are fresh, people are starting to heal. The economy's recovering in leaps and bounds. In fact, America looks like it's poised on the edge of a bit of prosperity. And that's led to the influx of so very many people to Los Angeles. Taking leftover money from GI bills and unspent paychecks. New factory jobs opening everywhere, and the Hollywood industry bustling to an incredible degree. Everyone wants to come out here and see the stars that got them through the great one. Well, the greatest one yet, at least. And you all are fans of science fiction, horror, and perhaps fantasy. It's not as big right now. There are a number of movies and scripts that you've worked on, as well as belonging to several writers' guilds. There's even a science fiction fan club in Los Angeles at this point. Can you believe it, folks? A fan club of people who like science fiction. With such luminaries as Ray Bradbury inside of that club, some of you might actually have been celebrated. The club itself has a wonderful reputation. This is a real club, by the way. You can look this up. Kelle, you wrote that down, if I'm not mistaken. The name of it?
I believe I did, but it is the Los Angeles Science Fantasy Society.
Absolutely. So any of you who belong to that club and have published fiction might have been hosted at a fanquet, a fan banquet, where they celebrate you. And you're basically, it's almost like a little coming-of-age ceremony. They have a banquet, and then you get toasted at the end of it, along with anyone else who, for that month or bi-monthly period, sold work. So some of you may know each other. At the very least, some of you know each other based on your histories and based on who you are inside of Hollywood. But it's a big town. Now, at this point in time, some things to note about the world. Like I said, the war ended last year. Cars are finally back on sale. Due to the supply of metal being restricted, they were not during the war. Streetcars are huge in Los Angeles at this point. There are more than 20 lines that run in this city, with more than 1,200 cars in operation. And that's really useful because there are no freeways in LA at this point. If you're thinking about LA as the sprawling metropolis with 14-lane highways like it is today, no. It takes forever to get anywhere in Los Angeles in the 40s. Think to Roger Rabbit. The freeways haven't bulldozed Toontown yet, but they're working on it. Now, all of you have a similar connection to one thing, and that is your love of science fiction. Although, as time progresses, you are realizing that with the war over and with the events in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the world that was so hungry for science fiction over the past decade now has a growing splinter of fear for the very science that they watched destroy entire cities in a heartbeat. The promise of tomorrow is no longer golden, but blackened and tinged with flecks of blood. and perhaps you worry about the state of your genre. As Halloween rapidly approaches, you find yourselves in a strange predicament tonight. It's a Saturday night, and you have each received a sealed, wax sealed, I should say, handwritten invitation to dine at the estate of the reclusive auteur Baxter Crowell. Baxter Crowell, I'm going to go Crowell. I think Crowell sounds better. Baxter Crowell is the Hollywood version of this era, of kind of a hybrid of Guillermo del Toro. I can never say his name, but I love the man. Vincent Price and Stephen King, all rolled into one. Each of you has read a story written by him or a film directed by him. A Renaissance man of the 30s, he is one of the pioneers that brought science fiction, horror, and B-movie schlock into a premature heyday that wouldn't be seen again for another, until the mid-50s with the big monster epics. Everybody roll me a d10. And I will tell you your favorite or the movie that you know him from the most. And just shout it out and I'll tell you.
10.
Okay. Your most known movie is The Knights of Neptune.
Ooh.
And by the way, if you had a connection to this film or this story, you may. And keep that on your character. Christa.
9.
A New Babylon, which I believe was a short story he wrote. James.
4 for me.
Wonder from Beyond Time.
Okay.
I also rolled a 4.
Okay, so you can choose that one, or I can, you know what? I'm gonna say, would you like 3 or 5 to have participated in?
5.
Garden of the Atom.
Okay.
Okay. And finally, Tasha.
I also had 5.
You also had 5. So you might have produced Garden of the Atom, or your studio
That makes
may have.
sense.
It was kind of a War of the Worlds kind of War of the Worlds well, no, it was more like Forbidden Planet, I think, than anything, right? Those of you who've seen Forbidden Planet know exactly what I'm talking about. And if not, you're in for a treat, because Leslie Nielsen's the star, and he's the hunk. He was really hunky, by the way, when he was young.
What was Wonder from Beyond Time? Was that
Wonder
a story or?
Would you rather see a movie or a story?
It wasn't mine. I was just curious.
That was mine.
I think that was a short story for sure.
Oh yeah, for me, yeah, it would be a short story.
I came up with way too many of these, by the way, so. I came up with only 19 of them. Okay. So.
Roll a d19.
Roll a d19. Oh, I rolled a nat 19. Wrong podcast. Wrong show. We have friends on one call. Anyway. You have received an invitation to go and dine at his estate in the Hollywood Hills. The letter says to arrive at 9 p.m. sharp. A bit late, but Hollywood, people are eccentric, and those of you in the business would probably know that there will probably be libations to keep you awake well into the night. Sharp is underlined, denoting that the usual 15 minutes early is 15 minutes late rule for Hollywood might not apply. And, against perhaps your better judgment, perhaps hoping for the opportunity to network and meet this reclusive Willy Wonka-esque figure, you approached and arrived around the same time. Who is driving their own vehicle here? Or are you taking a taxi, or...
I'm definitely being dropped off by my driver.
That's true. Yes, you definitely will. All right. And the rest of you, how do you get there?
Is it
Cab. I'll take a cab.
Yeah, taxi.
My
for me, too.
husband will drop me off.
Is it accessible by streetcar?
It is not.
And a
This is in the
walk?
Hollywood Hills. So a streetcar and a walk, yes. Although the walk will be quite a walk. Here's the question, though. As you are walking down the road, the streets are glistening with a bit of rain that fell earlier in the day, and the entire atmosphere has an oil painting aesthetic. As Helen's limousine, her stretch car, drives down the road, Helen looking out the window with an idle sense of boredom, you will see a young woman walking down the street by herself past 8 o'clock at night.
If you're dressed like that, I'll be like, oh, hold up, to the driver.
Absolutely, ma'am. Your driver pulls over.
Ma'am, are you all right?
Oh yes, I'm absolutely fine. Sorry, I'm just I think I'm in the right place. I'm just heading up this hill. I'm the Crow residence. You don't happen to know where that is, do you?
Are you going to the Crow party tonight?
I am, ma'am. Are you?
Would you like a ride, my dear?
Well, goodness gracious, that would just be absolutely top notch. Thank you so much. Hop in. Delores Young, lovely to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. I'm Helen Edelmann.
The Helen Edelmann. Oh, goodness.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, you're not exactly a small deal in this town.
Oh, you're too kind. Well, what do you do, my dear?
Oh, I'm a journalist.
Ah, which paper?
Freelance right now. Just writing my own stories and seeing who'll take them. You know how it is.
I see.
The car will idle up the hill, slowly meandering the switchback that leads up to an old Victorian... Well, how old could it be, honestly? It's Hollywood. But it sure looks old. In fact, the Victorian manor that you see in front of you seems better suited for the East Coast, or even a slice of Europe, than anything around here. The sprawling mansions are starting to get that Hollywood aesthetic. The wide swimming pool and flat wall look. But this sticks out like a needle. Above you, the thunder seems to gather, and the clouds that are visible through the full moon coalesce, almost as if the props department had set them up that way. As your limousine drops you off in front, your driver comes around the side, and your driver, a handsome man of second generation descent, will open the door for you and nod to you. Ma'am, would you like me to wait here for you?
You can return in a few hours.
Absolutely, ma'am. Have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Enjoy your dinner.
All right. Henry, your chauffeur, will shut his door after you exit. And at this point, in front of the wrought iron gates here, which glisten with spear point spikes all along them, to probably, of course, to deter any type of robber or paparazzi, you will find a few other individuals. And I'd like you all to describe yourselves for each other. Let's start with Helen, since you are the spotlight of attention.
All right. Helen is an average-sized woman. She's very well put together. She's very proper. A little bit out of the ordinary because she has been in Hollywood so long. She used to be an actress when she was younger, and yeah.
All right. Delores, you are standing with her, so you go first. Out of everyone else.
Delores is young. Well, not really. She definitely tries to like dress a little bit younger because it gets her in places, but she's in her sort of early 30s. Most of her clothes are just a little bit too old and a little too out of date. Like they would have been fashionable a decade ago. But clothing isn't the cheapest, but always kind of holds herself with like kind of a, either you don't necessarily want to mess with her, but still very like trying to, you're not afraid to approach her, but you also wouldn't want to mess with her.
Nice. Who is standing in front of the front gate, which is still locked at the moment?
I think Jack probably would be.
Sounds good. Jack, what do you look like?
So Jack is actually a pretty scrawny guy. He's kind of got a kind of a willowy characteristic to him. Probably like some of the stuff he's wearing is looking a little ratted, little worn. Good enough to be presentable, but kind of edging there. He's always got like some sort of notebook on him, and he's like kind of scratching down notes constantly, and making little sketches of things. But yeah, just kind of has a little bit of a beard. He's probably in his like very early 30s. But yeah, certainly doesn't look like a manly man. Just kind of doesn't have any sort of burliness to him at all.
Sounds good.
Kelly, I don't think my driver would have dropped me off outside a locked front gate.
No.
As you see a small crowd outside, your driver will say, "Ma'am, I'll wait until you're let in, of course."
Thank you, Henry.
And he'll hold an umbrella above you, just in the chance that a single drop of rain could come and ruin your flawless makeup. But that's a good point. Thank you. And then there are two others. Alfreida.
Yes, Alfreida Bayley is in her early 30s. You might recognize her, but she's a radio actress, so you might recognize her voice rather than her face. And she looks like she fits in. She's not standing out, but she's not exactly hiding in the background either. But you could possibly miss seeing her if you weren't looking.
All right, and then the one who you definitely will notice in a crowd is Thelma Valentine.
So Thelma Valentine, definitely, yes, she does not stand out. She is your traditional Hollywood bombshell. She has a very nice hourglass figure. She is wearing a dress that is showing off all the goods where it matters, and she has a nice short black hair, pearls. She obviously married a older man that has money, but she to afford her now that she's not as much as work, but she's definitely looks like she's trying, and she was chosen to be an actress for a reason, and she's not afraid to show it.
Sounds good. And as you all convene near that gate, you'll hear the sound of hard-soled shoes walking down the stone walk. A butler. What else could he be? And a white man in his late 60s with thinned white hair that reaches... male pattern baldness has claimed most of it, but there are strips of it that have been plastered back with pomade down the center. Will approach and... Good evening. I am Giles. I am Mr. Crowell's butler, and am here to welcome you for the evening. Please. And he reaches into his coat and pulls out a rather ornate key and unlocks the gate from the rear. It opens with a grinding click, and he opens it for you. Please, do come inside.
Why, thank you.
Thank you, Giles.
Master Crow will be seeing you shortly. Please, follow me. And as you enter, he will lock the door behind, or the gate behind you, and proceed up the steps, leading you in to an opulent mansion. Again, locking the doors behind you as you go. The inside of this place is simultaneously what you expected and didn't expect. You expected the opulence, you expected the vaulted ceilings, this house, for lack of a better description. How many of you have seen the movie Clue? That house. And if you had, this is literally the house that I pictured with this. If you have not seen the movie Clue, is Tasha, were you the only one?
No, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, good. That is, it is fantastic. Huge vaulted ceilings. Front entryway has a stairwell that leads up in a winding C shape. You will pass underneath it, and as you do, you'll hear all of your hard-soled shoes striking. Now, of course, Giles will take each of your coats and hang it in the entry hall, and then he'll lead you across. But what you didn't expect here, or perhaps might have expected for someone like Mr. Crowell, is that this place is unbecoming of a butler like Giles. In fact, it's a little dusty, a little ill-kept. Perhaps Giles isn't much of a maid. Perhaps the maid doesn't come out here very often. A bit strange. The smell of dust and premature age clings to this place, as do the cobwebs in the corners of the vaulted ceilings. What you'll also notice, and I'd like a perception roll off of you. So what that is going to be is your wits and composure. So roll those against a difficulty of 8, which is the standard for the system.
So roll 2d10.
So what's your resolve and composure?
Wits and composure.
Wits and composure.
Oh, pardon me,
Composure?
so take the number of dice
Oh,
in your
so
wits.
roll the total number of dice of all the points.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got it.
Sorry if that was unclear for a second.
Shoot. I'm
Okay, and you're shooting
on
for
the same
8.
spot.
And then just count how many are 8 or above.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you roll 10s, you get to roll them
Hang
again.
on. Yeah. Okay, so 2
That was my
successes.
one success.
Oh my god.
No,
Was a
nice.
10.
5.
Wow, nice.
5.
5 successes.
Dang, Alfreida.
Oh, Chronicles of Darkness is good to be back.
Sorry, I get 9 agains as well. I need to roll 2 more. And I get. If you re-roll, do you re-roll again?
Yeah, tens and go in.
10s keep
infinite.
going.
Okay, I have 8 agains from
Holy
3
crap.
dots, 3 dots and trained observer. So
Okay, so
Oh,
put your number in the
nice.
chat. I just have to do something real quick for another stream that is running right now.
multitasking.
Mm.
One sec. I just have to give a couple people mod permissions on Dork Tales because I forgot to. And Horrible Tales. There we go.
Natasha, Helen's a producer, right? She's an ex-actress turned producer.
Correct.
There we go. All right.
Well, if she's the studio owner, then she's the
Executive
supreme producer.
Holy crap.
She'll get the veto power there.
Okay, so what I am going to do, and I'm guessing that that means that Helen got 0.
I got 3.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it in the chat. Okay, so Thelma, looking around, you are going to see that there's not much here. You expected Picassos and Rembrandts and fancy doodads all along the walls. Huh. Maybe times are tough. Weird. Now, Jack and Helen, looking around, you are going to see that, yeah, actually, a lot of the things here appear to be... Well, you start to notice outlines on the walls where the sunlight that came through the through the windows has discolored the wood, but not in certain places, as if things had hung there before.
War hit a lot of people hard.
True. It must have. Now, however, the other two of you are... So, let's see. Alfreida and... Is it Alfreida?
Alfreida. Yeah.
Okay, Alfreida. Alfreida and Delores, looking around with your almost just your flawless investigative eyes, are going to notice that, yeah, there are quite a few missing paintings and other valuable items here. The plaques, the little nameplates beneath them, haven't all been removed, though, and you see that there is, in fact, a place where an original piece of a Da Vinci sketchbook had once been. That podium there looks like it had a Ming vase on it at one point. The war tore through people, but this speaks to both of you of urgent liquidation. And you're pretty sure this place hasn't actually been properly cleaned in years. I am going to give you both the Inspired condition. Inspired means that at any point you can cash that in to convert a 3 successes into an exceptional success on a roll of your choice, actually. Just because you got an exceptional success, you have... It should probably be considered... be something about him or the house or the situation more than anything, but I'll allow anything.
An investigation type situation.
Yeah. And boop. Just one sec. I'm just going to check one last thing. And boop. There we go. All right.
Quick question.
Yes.
We knew that like this guy has been reclusive for a long time,
Since
right?
1938.
Okay, so like a good decade.
8 years now, yeah.
Okay.
So even since before the war.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll be waiting for you here inside of the dining room. He takes you over to one of the rooms on the left next to the stairwell and opens it with a key and slowly steps aside. And if the rest of the place was lacking in ostentation, this room is not. It's comfortable. Seemingly, to those of you with 5 successes on your perception roll, it seems almost a little dressed up for this purpose. As if he didn't have enough art to cover the rest of the building, but could cover the room where you would be having this dinner. It looks like set dressing.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Does this look like a Hollywood set?
On the other end of a long table, ordained with several elegant silver candlesticks and candelabra, lit by the flickering light of a few incandescent bulbs, but primarily just licking candlelight, is a slight man pushing somewhere between 60 and 70. Very slight, very... probably a runner's build or a swimmer's build in his youth, but now his jet black hair shows liver spots around its edge. It's slicked back, and you see a twisting mustache curled tight against his weathered skin. And yet the eyes, the gray stones beneath his surprisingly bushy black brows, glitter in the firelight and candlelight as you approach, and he'll stand up from the host seat at the table. Ah! Good evening! Good evening. It is wonderful to have you with me tonight. And he will toddle over to you and will first reach... Helen, it has been some time, has it not? I was so sorry to hear about your husband.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's been a bit of an adjustment. How have you been?
I've been... working?
Excellent. Always good to keep young.
Well, not as young as we used to be.
But
Please,
who is?
perhaps this lovely young thing. Hello, Mrs. Valentine. Or shall I say Miss Valentine?
Hello, Mr. Crowell. She'll hold her hand out for him.
Oh, yes, it has been... I have been watching your career with relish.
Oh, I'm so glad you could enjoy it. I am such a fan of your work.
Oh, pish posh. Speaking of careers, do I hear the dulcet tones of Alfreida Bayley?
Oh, why, Baxter, it's so lovely to see you again.
It is.
It's been many, many, many years.
Has it?
What
been?
are you doing with yourself?
Nothing good, I promise.
Oh, you must tell me more later.
Oh, well, this is what this party is for.
Oh, fantastic.
Speaking of people I should be very careful about telling anything to would be our intrepid writers. Delores, Jack. So wonderful to be here with you tonight. Now I do ask and tell. The time is right. Everything should be strictly off the record.
Of course, Mr. Grau, of course.
Of course, that should be for my guests. Anything that I say is strictly public domain. I brought you here for a reason, after all. I have a life story to tell.
Delores will pull out a little notepad and kind of wiggle and be like, I came prepared.
Just like a Girl Scout. Please, come, let us sup. I have roast pheasant. I have, of course, veal. And for those of you in a less carnal location, I have also procured some tofu chow mein from Chinatown. I hear that vegetarianism is all the rage among you,
Modern types?
Yes. Yes, that is the case. Just one moment. He's going to go toddle your seat, apparently. I have to fix something on my channel that's being run.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
Edelmann.
that pheasant.
It is so nice to
yes.
see you again. I loved
It is
working with you.
wonderful to see you, Thelma. How have you been?
Oh, I'm sure you know what's going on. You get caught at one wrong party and suddenly Hollywood hates you.
You do have to be careful, my dear.
I'm
been
facing the backlash.
Keeping a low profile.
I've been trying. My husband is not too thrilled with the lack of work I've been receiving, so maybe tonight is
Do
a
settle
new...
down eventually.
Yes. How are you? I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Had you met him?
I had a brief conversation a few times, but he was quite the man. I'm of just those brief words. I could tell he was quite the husband.
Absolutely, that he was. The town is definitely different without him.
Oh yes, all of Hollywood has been shaken to its core.
No, well, we'll see about that, but hopefully things will settle down into a better place.
I have to say, it is nice to see a woman at a head of a studio. That is quite the accomplishment.
Sometimes things have to change for the worse before they can change for the better.
My thoughts exactly.
At this point, Jack will probably like kind of nudge Delores and be like, "She's the head of a studio."
How do you not know Helen Edelmann? You live in LA. How?
Oh, like no, I'm a story writer. I don't ever get to deal with any of these people.
Well, don't you ever have hopes of having your books turned into films? You need to keep on top of these kind of things, Jack.
Okay.
After this, we'll go for coffee. I'll give you all the bigwigs.
All right, okay, cool.
Nice. All right, and with that, also pardon. Thank you for vamping there for a minute.
We do nothing else well. It's vamp.
It's true. You will all get seats at your table. The butler will of course pull the chairs out for any ladies who are sitting, and Baxter will personally pull the chair out for Helen as you sit, and will take a place at the head of the table. Giles will begin pouring a bit of sherry to start for everyone, and it seems like a particularly pleasant vintage. Not great for those of you who are wine connoisseurs, but it's fine. It's fine. It's
reasonable.
Delores is very impressed.
And it's still 1946. You probably haven't had a chance to get really good sherry yet. If you, it's still coming. Still coming from Europe.
Oh, that's fair. That would have been cut off.
And I don't think the wine region of California has really started yet.
No, it hasn't yet.
Yeah, you would know. our expert there.
What? No.
Our real expert.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting the title on.
There's no Mondavi on bottles on the table.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, good. I needed a little pick-me-up here.
Ah, yes. It's a dinner party after all.
Can't have a party without some fun.
Exactly.
Nice aperitif.
I'm definitely more of a champagne girl myself, but cherry
who
also is a
isn't?
great way to start the night.
Or finish it.
Exactly.
Oh, let's face it, champagne is just great any old time.
Oh, yes.
Always
Pearls and
celebrate.
bubbles just go together.
The two broke writers sitting here like, I'm sure it's delicious.
Definitely.
Yeah, like Jack is just kind of like looking back and forth, like trying to just kind of process all these people.
Wondering how you got into this group.
Yeah. Because I'm a very different kind of writer than Delores is.
Delores is secretly the same kind of writer as you, but like
I have
doesn't
no
let
idea.
on. Exactly, she's got some.
But has a day job.
Exactly, yeah.
Have we
Now,
crossed
Alfreida is-
paths?
I would imagine so, because she's interested in, like, she's probably written articles on your work.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
That you probably and sort of
So I just know you as a journalist. Okay.
yeah, but she really actually like sought you out because she wants to be a sci-fi writer. So she's like secretly like she interviews you. She doesn't actually write papers, but she interviews you on your writing.
But you might know her pen name too, right? If she has a
Yeah, that's and I just
probably.
realized I forgot. I wrote it down and now I've lost it.
Oh,
Probably fanboy.
I'll pick it
over-
up.
I probably fanboy over your alternate idea.
Oh my god, yes.
like he's
That's
such a
good.
genius.
Yeah, he's great. He's top notch. Thank you.
would
If I
so
see
like
him, I'll
to
let him
meet
know. I'll see if I can set that up for you.
And with that, the dinner party begins. A bit of soft music plays in the background, and the fireplace nearby lends a comfortable atmosphere to the room. Conversation flows freely, and you find that your host is quite, well, as you would imagine. A little bit dark, but overall incredibly complimentary, almost saccharinely so, but with an air of authenticity that carries it across. He seems like a man that would not say something if he genuinely didn't have passion for the words. I must say, I particularly appreciated the piece that you, Delores, what was it? It was, your recent pitch to the Los Angeles Science Fantasy Society that you've been submitting around the fan circles, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you've got nothing if you don't have fans.
Then you, my dear, are not going to be deprived of things for long. You have quite a mind for the written word.
Well, thank you, Mr. Crowell. That's awfully kind of you.
Your words have definitely kept my mind entertained these past few years, as have yours, Jack. I particularly enjoyed your most recent tale. There's something about the innate pacifism of your science fiction that appeals to me. I feel that we are kindred spirits.
I feel that as well. Jack kind of shuffle a little nervously.
What was the line that you used in recent? It was, mankind must learn to exist as one, lest we exist as nothing but the dust among the stars. Should I paraphrase it all? Please let me know. It was quite a thrilling line.
I'm yeah.
No, but to have such I genuinely believe that science fiction and speculative fiction provide an outlet, a way for us to provide enlightenment to the masses, to elevate them from the gutters.
It's the light that shows us the way forward. If we don't speculate, if we don't explore all of these concepts and ideas that spill forth, that all that science can and the wondrous technologies that we're the potentiality of it, it's our duty to explore, to light the darkness moving forward. Otherwise, we get caught up in these foolish nonsense, such as like all these nationalistic ideas and
Jingoistic.
We must tell stories that advance us to the future, not trap us in the past.
Exactly. To explore and play around with new and different ideas, things that can get really people enthused and interested about what's going to happen. I mean, we have to start looking forward. I mean, look after the drudgery of the wars.
Yes, both of them.
Yeah.
I fear that mankind is losing its faith in science. And through that, our ways to pass upon our ideals, our utopian beliefs. The light diminishes, and perhaps will fall to darkness. How is the veal?
Jack will glance down, having not even tried it yet.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher than you expected. In fact, what I'd like everyone here to do is please make me a presence or manipulation, depending on how you're doing this, plus socialize roll to see how well you're doing at this dinner party, because I never get to use this skill.
I have a specialization of upper class. Does that get anything?
Gives you a bonus dice.
Sweet.
Sorry, is this presence and socialize?
Or manipulation, whichever. It depends how. If you're trying to be
fair.
like the center of attention, it's more
Yeah.
presence. If you're trying just to have like the occasional witty
Yeah,
like
mine are
ding-
equal.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask the right question to get someone else to say the right thing.
That's right. So it's all about power versus finesse. Alternatively, if you're just trying to be like quiet and pretty, especially Jack, that would be a composure roll probably, just to like sit there and go, "This is a thing I'm at." 3.
3.
3.
3.
Okay. Jack,
I also got 3.
3. And Thelma has 52.
No, only 6.
Only 6.
Normally,
Okay. So,
I had a 10 again that rolled twice 10s for me.
it's so
oh,
good.
lucky!
Nice.
I did too, and I ended up with my 3.
That's fantastic.
All
Okay,
good.
so all of you are going to do quite well. I feel that Delores is probably doing the least well just because she's spending so much time paying attention to other people.
She's used to having to draw things out of people, but obviously all of these people are like so comfortable talking. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna note everything you're saying.
Sounds good. And Thelma, you are going to be so just precious and so perfectly poised in this that I'm going to grant you the connected condition. What this means is that with this specific group of people for the rest of the night, you are going to have a +2 on all rolls, on all social roles related to them. Because you have proven yourself to be the queen bee of the socialization here.
Sweet.
Now, when you, let's see, alternatively, you can shed this shed this connection for a one-time +3 bonus to influence or otherwise work with them. So basically, you can take control to get a +3, at which point you shed that. You also will lose the condition if you do something that causes you to burn your bridges with them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I can use the +2 until I decide to shed.
Until you decide to burn it
To
for the
manipulate.
+3.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
All right, and with that, you continue talking. Is anybody else offering anything about themselves? What are you all working on? What occupies your souls?
Oh, I'm currently working on a new piece,
Oh,
centered on the idea of the both all the atomic weapons. I'm imagining a land that's been absolutely bludgeoned by the atomic forces, where there's only this little knot of humanity left, and it's basically acts as a womb where we can shrug off the ideas of violence and basically live in proper cooperation. None of this
Fresh start.
classism. A fresh start where people can be can find themselves in a balanced, even place. Sorry, I'm enthused to talk about it, but the ideas are still bubbling up. I mean, just even sitting around your glorious house has already given me a couple of interesting ideas.
Sounds absolutely fascinating.
would that you had seen the place in its
thank you.
heyday.
I'm sure you had quite the ruckus about on the parties, I'm sure. Such
Oh.
a strapping young gentleman as yourself.
Yes, I did entertain quite a few starlets in my day, as well as sometimes sisters, brothers, and others. It was a oh, don't appear shocked. It's Hollywood after all. Speaking of, there are many festivities that I wish to pursue throughout the evening. Would anyone like a pick-me-up?
What did you have in mind, Baxter?
Of course.
I have acquired something from Columbia that should help. At which point, Giles will provide each of you a small snuff box and spoon. Should anyone wish to do it. Dorktail's not and on Occultus Anonymous does not advocate the use of cocaine in recreational activities, but it's the 40s, so screw it. I forgot to do the historic disclaimer at the beginning of game, so hey. So anybody who wishes to partake, for the remainder of the scene at the very least, you are going to gain a +1 on all physical actions, but a -1 on composure, resolve, and yeah, that's basically it. Your composure and resolve rolls are going to be at a -1 because you're just going to be jittery.
Alfreida's gonna fake it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Anybody who wants to do it, I'm not gonna just play it accordingly. It's fine stuff.
Jack will wave it off. It's
Yeah,
Thelma's an actress. She
Yes.
will do it.
Oh yeah.
Thelma needs to get back in the good book. She's gonna do whatever she wants.
Yes.
Has to.
None for Mr. Rose, I suppose. Instead, perhaps a doppio espresso, por favor.
Also, Kelly, one
yes,
of my
that sounds
aspirations was to get intoxicated. Is doing cocaine considered intoxicated?
All right. Did you spend a willpower yet?
No.
Well, you gain a willpower back regardless. So
Shit.
I'll put a check mark.
Legally, it does count as intoxicated. If we're
Yeah,
talking.
'cause we go by legal rules when we're running this game.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? I'll say your aspirations can give you temporary bonus willpower, sure.
Sweet.
So you have an extra one right now. So everybody, do cocaine and punch ghosts. That's the game.
So we're Scooby Doo.
Just an espresso and punching
What have I
ghosts for
done?
me,
You
please.
did too much cocaine.
Apparently.
You can't feel your face when you're with us. But you love it.
So it's +1 to everything physical, and then -1 for composure, resolve, and
That's it. But just composure and
I
resolve.
about
rolls.
lost my composure there.
All right. So Giles will serve up espresso beverages to anyone who would prefer it. And the beans, for those of you in the know, are a bit flat. For those of you who just drink Americanos or regular drip coffee down at the diner, this is fancy and it tastes a little dirty. And wow, it must be expensive if it tastes like dirt. A lot of espresso does just taste like dirt, depending on where it's from, though. So hey, there you go. It is rather potent. Each of you who is doing a mental action and has had espresso will have a +1 equipment bonus for the remainder of the scene. Basically, just because
Espresso.
you're keyed in, and these are the type of bonuses that they give you in the book, which I love. I love that you can just crank some coffee to do hacking.
So that's +1 to mental traits.
+1 to mental skill rolls, basically.
Mental skill. Okay.
Cool.
So I do have to
Pretty much
ask,
how I live my life.
Thelma Valentine, I heard about your recent trouble. And I do have to ask, of course, your version of this, your side of this will be off the record, but you got into a bit of trouble for attending, what was it, Keith Hawthorne, I believe? All of you will immediately know that is a blacklisted Hollywood actor who was blacklisted for communist sympathies. You attended a party with Keith. Obviously, you didn't know what type of party it would be or the type of people that would be there. And yet, I have to know, are your political leanings perhaps more social than based on pure profit?
I mean, off the record, of course.
Surely.
Obviously.
Looking at the reporters.
We could say that my political opinions might lean slightly more socially than what is
We should obviously take care of our people, should we not?
exactly.
And it brings me to this. As much as the film industry has done me very well over my life. I cannot spend another moment in this house without wondering if I deserve this opulence, where others might live in the gutter. Or others might live in one-bedroom studio apartments.
Exactly.
He glances around the table pointedly at a couple of you. Should you not have access to the same fruits as any who dwell in the garden? Eve would say yes. Adam would need some convincing.
I've always found that it is quite atrocious driving through Hollywood and seeing how people that aren't as fortunate live. I feel exactly equal opportunity should be given.
All should have an equal shot, and I feel this country is exactly that. We pride ourselves on letting anyone who has a chance make what they can of themselves.
True, but we must say that though the founding documents say that all men are created equal, that does exclude a certain class of you, does it not? In fact, I see in this room 3 who benefit from that wording quite more than the other 4. Why else
Yes.
would... Please.
There are some issues. Women, for instance, are still struggling with many things that men have had for hundreds of years. It's a little bit ridiculous.
But you've done well. You, my talented Helen.
I've been lucky.
Luck is only a part of your glory. But yes, you have. Unlike our, well, if not for the rampant sexism in the industry, we would never have had the chance to meet the acquaintance of one Kenneth Anderson.
He's a wonderful writer, isn't he?
Oh, fantastic. He's one of my favorites. I've actually read through, I think, his entire collection. But I've been
Which is
eagerly
your
waiting
favorite?
Probably The New Star.
Oh, I read that one.
I actually drew a bit of a
You did? Oh,
character
interesting.
reference from that. His
Really?
it's an
female
excellent piece.
lead. I drew a bit of inspiration from her from that.
Kenneth Anderson would have been a phenomenal guest to have tonight.
Why didn't you invite him? Did he not respond?
I would have loved to meet him.
Sometimes it's more complicated than that.
Well, I could tell you, but, Miss Young, is everything in this room off the record?
If everyone else can agree to that, absolutely.
Who would we tell, darling? You're the journalist.
And the writer, Ms. Anderson.
Well, you know, it's hard to get your name out in this industry as a woman, so sometimes you use a nom de plume, as they say.
You're an
Rose is gonna give you a
genius.
long-
Yeah, awkward, definitely like pointedly avoiding eye contact with Jack.
I'm gonna like tap on your hands, like, my dear, you have to do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, he does seem to be quite popular, so why bother bursting the bubble of all of his fans? Yeah.
True.
But it's within your power to change things. Of course you should come out.
Yes, but
As a woman, it's not quite as easy.
But it's not about success. It's about the next woman who needs to write.
Ah, feminist.
Like, yes, I mean, undoubtedly you would suffer, but we all have to suffer in order to make the world a better place. You have to sacrifice what you have in order to give rise to the next generation.
well, I suppose I'm hoping that if Kenneth Anderson does get big enough and becomes a little more mainstream when sci-fi maybe picks up again, and as I believe it will, perhaps that will be the time to say, haha, surprise, your favorite author is a woman, in fact. But at the moment, I feel like I haven't gotten quite enough of a foothold yet.
True.
I understand completely, Delores.
Big surprises are often the most fun. Which is why, as Emil is wrapping up, Giles, the tiramisu, and I believe you may depart for the evening. Thank you, sir. And Giles will begin serving up some fine tiramisu, as well as any additional coffee for anyone who would like it. Which is why I've invited you here this evening. I am not only a writer, director, vocal performer, and, well, delectable host. I am also a tinkerer of kinds. Several of the lenses that you have used in the industry for years have been developed by, well, patents, developed from patents that I've created. I have always been a fan of all manner of photography and showmanship. In fact, here, and he'll gesture around the room, and you see that he does a number of things in this room that kind of catch your attention. A couple of them are props and old cameras and just the kind of stuff that you would kind of picture being around this type of place, around this type of man. This, for example, and he'll gesture to I would say probably like the 40s, about an 60-year-old camera. We're talking the accordion fronts that usually would have flash. This is an authentic William Mumler. Anyone who has a cult, specialization in ghosts or spirits, or occult 2 does not need to roll for this.
Oh, I have cult 2.
William Mumler is a famous post-Civil War photographer who became famous for spirit photographs. He would take photos of people and their dead relatives or someone who kind of looked like them would spectrally appear in the photo with them. He was brought up on fraud charges, I believe in New York or Boston, I can't remember off the top of my head, and was acquitted because they couldn't prove how he did it, no matter what. And eventually kind of passed into legend more than anything. This is absolutely true in real life, by the way. You can go look this up. William Mumler, Mumler. There's an episode of Criminal based on him, the podcast. Strongly suggest listening to it because it is a lot of fun. He even took photos of Mrs. Lincoln that showed not only Abraham back from the dead, but their departed son who died during the Civil War. Yeah.
Cool.
It's interesting. He'll gesture over. William Mumler?
Oh, the one who took that photo of Lincoln?
The very same. In fact, the very same camera.
Oh.
How did you come by it?
We will say through
Well, someone who normally deals those things. A broker.
Sure.
a broker. Yes, a broker. But
Always some kind of a broker.
I base some of my initial designs for various lenses and technologies off of some of Mumler's. The man was a technological genius who built much of his own equipment and actually patented many of the things for early fast development film. Things that moved us from the age of, well, the Flash to the age of the Polaroid, one might say. And speaking of which, that is an authentic, original Kodak camera there on the wall. Kodak, by the way, is from the Victorian era, if you will believe that. Sorry, I'm a nerd for this stuff. Now that we are all acquainted, I believe I should tell you the real reason that I brought you here. Wonder is fading from the world. And in its place, we have but the heartache of war, the scars brought upon us by this second war. The second in so many years to greatly scar humanity's psyche. And I believe, truly, that unlike the rise of spiritualism, utopianism, and science fiction that followed the Great War, this war shall plunge us, instead of toward the heavens, down into nihilism. I saw this coming. I tried to warn them. I tried to warn them of the power of such things in 1937. They would not believe me. And in 38, when they reached out to me due to my specific knowledge for focal lenses for a certain project based out of the University of Chicago you might be familiar with, I turned them down. I would not bring about something world-shattering. I instead wished to usher in an era of peace, but to do so, I needed to find an emissary. Someone who could speak to humanity from without. God didn't answer the phone, my friends. Someone did. I've called you here because each of you, above all of our contemporaries, shows a love of imagination. What I ask is for the remainder of the night, you suspend disbelief. Any reservations you may have, put them aside, and instead, for but a few hours, believe that there is something greater beyond humanity. I have been guided by these voices and have created a device. If you are done with your meal, I would love to show you.
Well, after an introduction like that, how could we say no?
Precisely.
Impossible to resist, you know.
Quite interested.
Good. Then follow me. And with that, he will lead you out of the room. And as he does, you'll notice how empty this place feels now. Giles is gone. And it appears to be just the five of you and Baxter, headed through the old halls. He takes you up the stairwell, high into the manor, and then up around where you can see opulent bedrooms and guest rooms, and walks you over to a large painting. Quite large. A painting of himself, actually, on the edge of one of the walls, and it's a full-length, 10-foot-tall painting of himself in a red smoking jacket, reading from a book of Poe, a raven on the edge of his armchair. He walks up to the painting, grabs it by the gilded frame. You see his fingers flex skeletally beneath the skin as he hits a series of clicks and opens, revealing a winding stairwell behind it. And he leads you up into a dingy...
Oh, you always were dramatic.
Secret rooms are one of life's greatest pleasures. into a dingy, expansive
Depends on what's
attic.
in them, to tell you the truth.
Now he leads you up into this tremendous attic with a steepled roof, thick windows with bars on them look out over the property, and you can see the full moon coming in, directly casting the majority of the light here. There is something in the corner. It's large. Looks vaguely like a power station.
Baxter, don't tell me we're raising Frankenstein's monster tonight, are we?
Well, I would need an abnormal brain for that. Where would I find such a
Not in your head at all.
I had thought about that. Think of the type of things we could create were we to merge our minds into one. Probably would just be a big pink mess.
Shudder to think.
Well, the shuddering. Save that for a moment, my dear.
Oh, very well.
He heads over to the wall and pulls down a lever. It's a quick as a circuit connects, and the room suddenly floods with yellow light. Incandescent bulbs flicker in strings around the area. You see that this room is full of science equipment. Tools, diodes, but nothing quite so extravagant as what lies in the center of the room. A stainless steel dais raises up between a pair of... they do look like something out of the set of a science fiction movie. Tesla coils. They look very similar to them, topped with giant orbs of rotating plasma. Each spoked with rings of steel. Wires strewn the floor. Please watch your step, he says as he approaches.
I feel like I've walked onto set, Baxter.
Fiction is the first step to reality. For does nothing, no craftsman has ever created what was not in their imagination. And what are we but the greatest Imagineers of all?
Mankind has a remarkable ability to achieve what we can imagine.
And what we can do with a bit of help from beyond. This device was gifted to me in mind by a friend from beyond the worlds. I was visited by a being some years ago. I call them Zarathustra. Mostly because it sounds neat. Zarathustra reached out to me and explained how to build this device. It took considerable resources. And were I not fiscally flush, it would have been unattainable. My many millions have been spent in the pursuit of this moment. As a convergence of the spheres occurs tonight, I wanted you here to witness as I, with your support, open the gateway to beyond. Zarathustra comes from a world with no war, no suffering, no bloodshed, no famine, no murder, rape, incest, or abuse of children. A world devoid of suffering. A true utopia. Tonight I will bring them across to become an ambassador to all mankind. To all humankind, I should say. We need to discard our useless terms of gender and sex, for soon we shall be a single people. No more racial divides, no more class or caste systems. No more war. No more death. Are you ready to see a miracle, my friends?
Dolores
think
is
we-
standing behind everybody.
Thelma's
think
kind
we
of
can-
backing up a little bit, being like,
Sounding a little
Yeah.
too Cthulian for me. Thanks.
Jack
Oh,
Rose is going to move forward.
Nobody reads that guy except for Robert E. Howe. Oh no, he doesn't anymore either.
Heinlein? Yeah, no, Heinlein doesn't even.
Yeah. Heading over to it, you see that the platform there looks like it's actually shaped large enough for a door to be positioned there. Next to it is one of those levers, you know, the kind that's on a half moon with like the...
Yeah.
Now, as the moon reaches its apex and we near midnight, the barrier between our dimension and theirs grows weaker. And now, at the stroke of this truest of twilights, we shall change the world forever. He goes around the machine, slowly turning on diodes and powering up condensers, powering up transformers, feeding electricity into this strange machine. Finally, after minutes of anticipation, he heads back around to that front lever, grips it with his weak, elderly hand. Let this moment live forever in your minds, and let us begin a new age for mankind! And with that, he slams the lever all the way down. And we're going to take a quick washroom break right now. So folks, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see where this lever takes us.
Oh, man.
Woo! You guys having an okay time?
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, 5 minutes, then we got to get back for action. See you in a sec. We're back. Welcome back to Occultist Anonymous, featuring Dork Tales today, and Onyx Path Con. Thanks for letting us take that quick break. It is early morning. Actually, it's almost 10.
Still early.
Still early enough.
early.
it's early for a Saturday.
It's early for a Saturday. As Baxter Crowell slams the lever down, the air becomes charged. Ozone floods your nostrils. And electricity arcs across the room. Huge spider webs of electricity begin creating thunderstorms inside of the room. You didn't think that anything would actually happen, but as you are watching, a pinprick of ephemeral energy begins swirling in the center of the dais. It's happening! It's happening! A small vortex of energy begins at the pinprick, and then, like so many things, begins spiraling ever outward, becoming a portal large enough that any two of you could step through. Yes, yes! Come to us! Guide us into tomorrow! He shouts, extending a hand. Beyond the gate, you can see ephemeral things, miraculous things. You see a world beyond description, but for me to try to best describe it to you would be to say, picture the Platonic ideal and the devilish corruption at once of everything you have ever known. Vehicles racing down the streets like feral cats, hungry for perfected squirrels that they devour in a spray of blood, trees that stretch up to heaven, leaves that grasp at moonlight like children reaching for candy, stars that dance, literally dance among each other in the blackness of night, and a sky of purple with a moon that you swear looks down upon you. There's a moment of awe, and I'd like all of you to make me a resolve and composure roll right now at a -3, because damn, cocaine will make this a -4. Oof.
That means I take away 4 dice.
Yep. If that drops you
Okay,
to
I'm-
0 dice, then
I
you
have
roll
one.
a You have 1? Then you're fine.
Yeah.
If you ever drop to 0 dice, you instead roll a single dice and tell me if he gets a 10 or a 1.
Can I spend a willpower? What
Yes,
does this do?
that-
Add 3?
Yep.
No.
That'll
Oh,
take you up
yeah.
to 4.
Cool.
1 success.
1 success. Okay.
1.
One.
1 on 1 die.
Nice.
I have 1 success.
1 success.
3.
3. Okay. Did anybody fail?
No.
Okay. Then you can all act. You can all still move, still do things. You are not taken aback by how bizarre this is. You also do not lose any integrity from the "what the balls" moment of your brain, because in this one, integrity kind of also functions kind of as a sanity meter as well. Just a,
Yeah.
it's how hinged you are. The portal continues to open. You'll see that ephemeral shapes like globs of ectoplasm or bits of mist flow through the air, and then suddenly the electricity begins to glow with a slightly orange hue, and then one of the spectral forms slams into Baxter where he is holding the lever. Another one slams into him until 3 motes of this stuff hit him in the chest, but there's no damage, no physical damage at all.
Are you all right?
Baxter collapses to his knees, and as he does, the lever is going to snap off. It looks like it could probably be rigged back up, but at the moment, it snaps off in his hand as he falls. So why don't we do an initiative roll just to see the order of operations that is happening. So initiative is 1 10-sided dice, and you should have an initiative score at the bottom of your sheet.
Yeah.
If you do not, it is your dexterity and
your dex,
wits, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either dex and wits or dex and composure.
Dex and composure.
Oh, it is dex and composure.
Yeah,
Nice.
Dex Composure.
Dex and comp.
Okay, and you can put that in the
Dex.
chat for me. That would be fantastic. Perfect. Good
Composure.
job there. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Oh, James rolled real low.
Yeah. Roll the 1.
And 10s do explode still.
He's 2 in all.
Good.
I really am. I'm just probably like, I think he's probably debating whether to go forward, backward, help Baxter. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hang on.
Yep, so add the 2 scores to your exploded 10,
Touching
Kelle.
my pearls.
Such you have a-
15.
15, okay.
15.
Okay.
Costs me a 10.
Okay, so Kelle, Baxter, if he decides to act, Delores, then Delores, Helen, Thelma, and Giaco. Okay, sounds good.
Quick
there-
interlude. One of my aspirations is encounter the supernatural.
Bing! Gain a willpower back if you're down 1. If you're not, gain a temporary, because I'll allow it. It's a 1 shot. Okay. There is an explosion of energy, and Alfreida. Alfreida, you're first. What would you like to do?
Gosh. Oh. Okay, what else is in the room? I'm not sure. Oh gosh.
So
I
it
don't know
is.
if she's gonna
What
go.
I need you to do is I need you to picture the attic from Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
Okay. So there is basically a bunch of science equipment in the middle. There are some toolboxes laying around here, a bunch of components, lots of tables surrounding the entire thing. And in the center of the room is this dais with this kind of undulating gate atop of it. A pair of these... I'm going to say Tesla coils that are kind of like feeding into it.
Yeah.
And Baxter is on facing it, the left side of this machine where the control panel is.
Okay, is he still up or is he collapsed?
He has collapsed to his knees. He's got like basically on his hands and knees at this point.
Okay, Alfreida's going to rush to him and try and get him up and get him out of the way.
Okay, you are going to be able to pick him up and move him out of the way. He is convulsing as you pick him up.
Okay.
But he weighs maybe 110 pounds.
Yeah, so just get him up out of the way and lay him on his side.
Okay, so pulling him out of the way, Baxter is indisposed at the moment.
Yeah.
Delores, what would you like to do?
You said so the handle of
the
it
handle
is
broke
popped
off, but it still has that cage for it, the thing that actually the thing that connects to that half moon.
Okay.
I should have researched what these are called.
Can I make a spend this round making a science check of how to turn it off if I can't use the lever?
Sure. I'll let you make a reflexive roll to do this. So what you can do is give me a reflexive wits and science roll.
Wits and science. And does reflective change out what my dice are?
No, it just means that you're doing it in an instant.
Okay.
So I'll let you do it flat because you're a huge nerd.
Okay. Just one success.
Just one success?
Yeah.
I mean, the lever turned it on. The lever can probably turn it off.
Okay. In that case, I will attempt to,
in there.
grab the lever, or unless there's something else that I can jimmy in there.
Yeah, you can probably. You know what? There's a wrench nearby. Or a screwdriver.
Wrench, yes.
Giant wrench.
I'll grab a wrench.
Grab a wrench. You'll plunge it in. It's one of those giant wrenches that has the point at the bottom, like a spike.
Almost like a crowbar.
Yeah, basically it's a wrench bar, right? So slamming that into the hole, you will start doing it. And what is your strength?
2.
You are going to start having some trouble. If someone gives you a hand, you'll be able to do this.
Jack, get your ass over here!
Okay. Helen, it is your turn.
Oh my. So I'm sorry, what's the guy's name?
Baxter.
Baxter
Crowell.
Is he conscious? Is he?
He appears to be, it looks like in the throes of an epileptic seizure right now.
All right, I'm gonna go try to help him, just kind of try to hold him still and try to wake him up or stop him.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
He's being
I've
kind of
got him on his side.
Okay, you've got him on his side kind of in the middle of the room. His eyes are wide and wild. The pupils have constricted down to the point where his eyes are mostly white. Even the irises seem to have taken on a milky tone to them, but it's hard to see. It's dim in the room to begin with, and his eyes are flickering around like they're in a tilt-a-whirl. His tongue lolls out of his mouth, and his teeth, old and gray and laced with tobacco stain as they are, begin to bite down on it, blood dribbling in rivulets down his well-manicured mustache. Helen, what would you like to try to do?
So there's nothing actively on him or attacking him or anything, right? He's just kind of.
No.
He's just convulsing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hold him down so that he doesn't hurt himself more.
Okay, sure. It looks like he might bite his tongue off soon.
I'm just gonna try to hold his head, I guess.
Okay, sounds good. You'll try to hold his head there. Sounds great. Thelma, what are you doing?
Oh boy. Are the hands is it just hands, or can we see the people?
So you saw those the energy kind of pour through, but on the other side you can see the spectral shape of a being approaching. Now, has Thelma ever dealt with addiction in her life?
Yes.
And of course, being a Hollywood starlet, body issues, you will see something approach the other edge of this gateway and look at you. It is, in essence, a feminine figure, one might say. tall and thin is not the way to describe this. With legs and arms like twigs and skin like parchment that hugs against the naked ribs. A cage of barely contained bone approaches, hair dangling beautifully around perfectly sculpted thin cheekbones and long, luxuriously plush lips. The breasts hang in like emaciated sacks of flour. It looks toward you, Thelma. You are seeing every meal that you've ever skipped. You are seeing every bit of amphetamine you ever took to fit into the perfect dress for a movie. You are seeing the bottom of every single toilet bowl as you filled it with your last meal. You are seeing your shame. What would you like to do? Also, sorry for that if that's...
that was great. I love that.
It's going to get dark from here,
TW.
folks, so just minor warning, minor psychological warning on a lot of things. Nothing sexualized will be happening, but there are going to be some potential things like that. Pardon, I didn't say that in advance.
It's Chronicles of Darkness.
But still.
Most of us know, but yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy, because I was gonna try and be like, oh, she's gonna try and tell it to stop.
Okay.
Just like shouted it through the portal.
Sounds good. How would you like to do this? Do you want to try to give me a presence and intimidation roll?
Persuasion?
So that's more of a stop, please, but sure, you can try.
Yeah, like you don't want this world kind of thing, like.
Yeah, that sounds great. Go ahead.
Cool. All right.
And what is your permanent willpower score?
It is 5.
Perfect.
I'm scared by that. So you said presence?
Yeah, I said I'd allow that. So it's,
cool.
Oh, sorry, yes, it would be presence, because you're basically just throwing your force of personality at this thing.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Oh, holy, that's, I rolled a 10 and that's it. 1 success.
All right, so what do you say?
Better than none.
What do you yell into the void?
I say, you don't want this world.
The creature of perfect thinness looks across at you with its sunken eyes. But I want you. Think of all we could do. You could be who you want to be. Let me in. However, it failed its role to compel you. So it's your choice whether or not you wish to say yes to this. But we'll deal with that next turn. Jack, what do you do?
I think Jack is probably flabbergasted looking into that pool of...
On the other side, you will see a being created of every page of writing you've ever done. A mummy of ideas, brilliant, shining gold, glowing between the gaps of the pages. It is every inspiration, every dream you have ever had. And it's speaking with your father's voice. Come on, Jackie. Tell me another story. Like he used to say when he worked at the auto shop, and you'd hold the flashlight for him. Tell me another good one about the monkey planet thing you talk about. Tell me another story, Jackie. What do you do?
Who are you? What are you? I'm gonna bellow into the thing.
I'm everything you wish you could be, buddy. And it's at that point that you're going to hear, Delores yell your name.
Jack, get your ass over here!
I think I'll probably kind of glance over that way and then probably stumble away from the portal, starting to head towards Delores.
Sounds good. All right. What's your strength?
Not really. Not all.
Is it 2?
Strength 2.
All right, that's enough.
Weak ass rider.
The two of you together, you riders are going to be able to put your shoulders into it.
You pencil pushers do.
Yeah.
Take this on.
All
I
right.
have a
and
point
at
of
the-
athletics.
That'll be
Me
good.
too.
Oh, hey.
And at the
That helps.
very last second, you are going to slam the portal up. The portal will get to do 1 action. So I need to make a quick roll here. Let's see. You are the only one standing directly in front of it, Thelma. What is your defense?
Oh no.
Let me let's scroll down a second. It is. It is.
So if it's not written on your sheet, it is.
It's 3.
3. The lower of because you don't have any athletics. That's right.
Yep.
Okay. If you have not spent a willpower, you may do so to add +2 to your defense.
You have a bonus one.
A bonus what?
Willpower.
Oh,
from
sure, you
earlier.
Yeah, I'll do that.
do. Okay, sounds good. That's only 5 dice then. Ooh, actually, that's something, but it's not everything. That's good. Good for you. Okay, so 1 sec. I just have to check something real quick. There is going to be a sudden lashing out as this creature reaches toward you with its skeletal hand. The hand is so long, and it is going to strike you. You are going to take 3 levels of bashing damage as it
Ouchies.
grabs you around the throat. Bashing damage, you'll go ahead and put those in as slashes. Bashing damage won't kill you.
Where is that on the
Middle right beneath your attributes.
There isn't any actual like slashy bits, so you might have
they're
to
not
write
on
it
the sheet?
down.
Yeah,
No,
just keep-
They're
just
not
keep-
filled in.
Okay.
Okay.
Just keep a note that you have 3 bashing damage. When your track
3
is full,
bashing.
Yeah.
you're in trouble. So
how we usually do it.
basically just
Okay.
keep a note on your book and go tick tick tick.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to make me an immediate roll though.
Okay.
So you need to roll your resolve.
Which is at -1 because of cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, dice.
That's a lot of dice.
Oh boy. That's a fail.
Oh no.
Okay, perfect.
Would you like to dramatically?
Oh, that's
fail?
right. Another mechanic for this is that if you're down willpower, normally this would get you a beat, but because this is a one-shot, if you ever fail, you can choose to dramatically fail, so long as the situation is appropriate. Something worse will happen to you, but you gain a willpower back.
But it's
yeah.
always exciting.
Hell yeah, I will
Are
dramatically
you
fail.
down any willpower below your permanent?
No.
Okay. So you cannot choose to dramatically fail to gain a willpower,
Fine.
but you can choose to
Sorry.
dramatically fail to mess yourself up.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I'll do that. Mess me up. Do it. It's a
You
one
are a
shot.
worthy
Do it.
hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It's a one shot. Go for the dramatic
Exactly.
fail.
Go for it. Fucking go.
Even a normal.
Yeah, even when it's a
I'm going to
regular
send
game,
you a
go for
message in
dramatic fail.
the chat right now.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So, sorry everybody else.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, makes it more exciting.
I'm glad because I was 100% gonna jump into the portal next turn anyways.
I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were going.
Oh no.
She is a
thank God we
greedy,
closed it.
ambitious actress. She would 100% want to be perfect.
She's a greedy, ambitious actress who's on the blacklist. Actually,
Yep.
needs to get back into the game.
Yep.
Yep. You a betcha.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There you go.
Boise. Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right, that is going to happen. Now we are at the top of the initiative. If you have any questions, Robin, basically just when you think is best is the answer.
Okay, cool.
So have fun.
Jesus.
I love this type of thing because this is the type of mechanic that is also in games like the Alien game, where everybody has, like, you get special motives. All right, Alfreida, what do you do? He's convulsing on the ground. Helen is holding his head still.
There's not much we can do for him right now. Sorry. Where did Thelma end up?
Thelma is just standing there. She just got hit hard and stumbled back a bit.
Okay, Alfreida's gonna grab her and pull her away from the door, from the portal.
Okay. As you do so, behind you, you can hear Baxter convulsing.
Can I still shout at Helen?
Yes, you may.
Shove a damn handkerchief in his mouth!
But you do have something that you could shove in his mouth. You have your stall, at least.
Yeah.
What do you want to... Okay.
Sacrifice the mink. Sacrifice the mink.
This is the 40s. She's got a handkerchief, guaranteed.
That's true. Helen, I'll actually allow you to... would you do that?
You're muted, Natasha.
You're...
Also, I'm like 70 years old. I have like 6 handkerchiefs on me.
Exactly. There's one up her sleeve. There's 2 in her purse.
Yep.
So what would you like to do something?
Nana.
Yeah, if I can do that, I'll try to stick something just kind of like in between his teeth, I guess, not like down his throat.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
okay, just one moment. What's your defense?
Which, by the way, in real world, do not do this to someone who's seizing.
Yes, do not.
No, you don't do it.
Unless they're speaking in tongues, in which case maybe.
Exactly.
In which case, the situation might be a little different. If there's a giant portal next to you, use your best judgment.
Okay. All right. So, what's your defense, Natasha?
Oh, I have this one written down somewhere. 2.
2. Cool. Okay.
We've hit that point in the game.
We
Music
have.
changed.
Cool. There is going to be a moment as you kind of pry his jaw open, and as you shove your handkerchief in between his teeth, you will feel a crunch of bone. You're going to take 4 levels of lethal damage, and I now have your fingers.
Oh, sorry, Helen.
Ouch.
So you shove them in, he takes all of your fingers off, and you realize that his mouth is full of serrated, barbed teeth like a shark. He looks up at you with these milky eyes. We're here, he says, your fingers dribbling out of his mouth as blood.
I'm gonna scream.
As you should. Okay. And he is going to stand up from the heel.
Great.
Because that is the creepiest way that anybody... Also, sorry, that came out a little loud at the beginning.
It was good, though.
My music stopped, so I'm just trying to fix it.
Oh, just hit refresh.
Okay.
I think that volume should be about right now. All right, across the way, Delores. Delores, you are going to look back and see this.
No.
I will say, in the center of this column, you see that there is a very specialized fuse that seems to be, the electricity seems to be funneling through. With your science roll, you would have seen that.
Oh, okay.
It's inside of your reach.
I'll grab it, rip it out then.
Okay, it's going to pop out of the wall.
Mostly for safety, but just in case they have a mouthful of razor blades.
You know.
Okay, all right. So you will see this directly in front of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to rip it out of the wall.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely can rip that out of the wall as a reflex action. What would you like to
okay. With the rest of my action,
Yeah.
I would like to boot Baxter in the head.
do? Sounds good. All right, I want you to do me a favor, and or do you want to use the wrench?
Isn't Baxter standing up now?
Well,
Baxter is standing up. So you can do it in the front of
is
the
he
head.
standing up? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he did the
stood
David
up.
Bowie.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Wrench.
Do I wrench him
Yeah.
or do I shoot him?
Ooh.
If you wrench is already in your hands, that would.
The wrench is already in your hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to roll as well, but yeah, sure. I will try to hit him with my wrench.
If you want, you can. I'll let you pull the gun out and use it. You'll be at a -1 because you're doing so many things this round.
No, that's fine. I'll just, if I'm at a -1, it doesn't make a difference. I just don't have weaponry. I have athletics and brawl, but I don't have weaponry.
Sure. You can spend a willpower.
I will spend a willpower. That gives me 3, right?
Power.
That counts as 3. Yeah. You can also risk willpower if you want to, or you can save that because the scene's going to be the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'll just regular.
Regular for
well,
this
I don't know. Risking sounds like fun. Let's just risk it.
Risk it. Okay. So
Go
what
for it.
would you like to gain +3 and 9 again?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you will do. Now hold on. Before you do this, you are at a -5 for his defense.
-5. Do I get anything for the weapon? Does it give me anything?
It does not add to your attack. It adds to damage. It's going to deal 2 points of lethal damage on a hit
Gotcha.
automatically.
Well, in that case, I don't roll with anything, even with the willpower.
So you just roll 0.
Yeah.
So
I'm probably not gonna be able to do anything.
you can try. Maybe don't risk the willpower. Maybe just spend it.
Okay, but do I still get to roll 1?
You still get to roll 1 chance dice no matter
Okay.
what.
Okay, I'll do that then.
On a 10, you'll hit. On a 1, you'll dramatically fail.
Okay. It's a 3.
It's a 3, so you rush forward and swing the wrench, and with preternatural grace that he could not have had a moment ago, he's going to step to the side and is going to spit a finger into your face.
Oh. It's like a Vienna sausage of
Delores.
death.
It really is. Helen, it's your turn as you're on the ground screaming, going... What would you like to do with your not hand? You still have one.
I would
You're
like to
stumping
wrap one of my many handkerchiefs around it.
This is
Okay.
why you have many.
Make me
You never
make
know.
me a dex or wits and medicine roll at a -1 from stress. Also, I appreciate you. You knew exactly what was going to happen when you did that, and you did it anyway. So big
Yeah.
love, big
Yeah.
love.
Helen didn't know.
Helen didn't know.
You know what?
but
The hell with
know.
Helen.
Yeah.
She's had a good life.
Yeah, she's
She's got enough money. She can pay for,
She can
some
get a new
I
hand.
had 2.
fingers.
You got 2? Okay, so you're going to staunch the bleeding, and what I'm going to say is that
I've been through childbirth.
Nothing.
it's true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play fast and loose with the rules for this because it's a one-shot. I'm going to say that that's actually going to staunch the bleeding enough to turn one of those points of lethal damage. Just erase 1 point of lethal, so you're down to 3 only.
Oh, goody.
Okay? So emergency medical can remove a point of lethal damage. 2 if you get an exceptional success, we'll say on this. Little house rule to make you guys potentially survive
Yeah, no.
for a
Oh,
next
no.
round or two. All right, so Helen, that's gonna be your. Oh, you still have one finger, as it turns out. You still have your pinky. That's the best
Still
news
drink
ever.
the tea.
Oh,
Or spill the tea.
you still got that. Thelma, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay, Thelma's gonna take out her gun and shoot Delores.
Okay, sounds good.
Everybody got a gun?
So that sounds great.
America.
Now, are you doing this point blank range, or are you doing this a few feet away?
Probably a few feet away because
You know what?
they ran over to Baxter.
I'll say you're inside of enough range that I'm gonna give Delores her defense on this still.
Okay, yeah.
Because normally you can't dodge guns unless they're basically inside of dodging distance, where it's like,
Got it.
oh, but
I'm also kind of flailing, so
that's true. So I'll give you your defense at a -1. So what's your defense?
3.
3. So subtract 2 from your dexterity and firearms roll. Robin.
Cool. What's this risking willpower stuff?
I'm gonna say that you can't do that this round because you're not in your right mind.
That's true.
So you
Okay,
risk
so it's-
willpower
Don't try
to.
quite so hard to kill me, Robin. Come on.
Oh, I get a +1 to because I'm on cocaine for physical.
Oh, this is true. You're on cocaine and ghosts.
Ooh.
All right, so it's a -2. You said
Pardon me.
-2.
-2.
-2.
okay.
So you roll dexterity plus firearms plus. It'll be a total of -1 when you're all said and done, thanks to the cocaine.
Yay, cocaine.
Disclaimer, we don't actually say yay cocaine.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? Disclaimer: we're not cops. Do what you want.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, it's your life. We're not going to condone it. We're not going to condone
I rolled
it.
no successes and a 1.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay. So no successes.
No successes.
That matters in Old World of Darkness. This is Chronicles of Darkness. So Delores is. Pardon me, Delores, you are going to see something out of the corner of your eye and just kind of flex out of the way as a bullet ricochets off of the spanner in your hand, sending it tumbling to the ground as a bullet barely misses your face.
Oh, nice use of the term spanner.
What the hell?
All right, and now that we are here, Thelma, make me another resolve roll, please.
Yeah. Add a -1 because of cocaine.
Yep. Okay.
A hell of a drug.
Oh, that's a fail.
That's a fail. You okay? Then it keeps going till next round.
Okay.
Okay. Good job though, Thelma. Jack, what do? You're seeing this in front of you.
All right. What's happening with the portal?
It is starting to close. In fact, as it closed completely.
In which case, I will probably look at this thing, and I'm going to run over and start wrestling Thelma for her gun.
All right, sounds good. So, if you were trying to, are you entering a grapple, or are you trying to grab the gun?
I am trying to, just try to wrestle the gun so it's not
So grabbing the gun is going to be a more difficult action. So let's go ahead and do this. So what I want you to do is, to grab the gun, you are going to make a strength and athletics roll at a -3.
Oh.
Because it's a small target.
So you said strength and what again?
Athletics.
Strength and athletics.
You may spend
a chance die.
You may spend willpower.
Yeah, I'll spend willpower on this one.
Do it. So that'll take you up whatever that would be. Are you risking or just spending?
Two dice.
2 dice? All right, 2 dice. Here we go.
Yeah, I think I'll just 2 dice it.
Sounds good.
1.
1. Okay, so he is going to grab your gun, meaning that he doesn't have it out of your hand yet, but he does have your gun, meaning that if you try to shoot anybody but him, you are going to be at quite a bit of a difficulty. Basically, you're going to be wrestling on your turn. Okay?
Okay. Sounds great.
Perfect.
What are you doing?
The portal does not exist. Okay,
Thelma's
top.
not here now. Right.
I knew it. I knew you were possessed.
Gain a +1 to Robin's stats. Go. Alfreida, it's your turn.
Terrible.
Okay, so Alfreida's pulling her gun.
Okay, sounds good.
Because everybody's got a gun now.
It's the 40s.
And she's gonna shoot at Baxter.
Sounds good. Go ahead. You are going to suffer he does get defense against firearms, so that's a -5.
That's fair. Oh man.
Are you gonna risk willpower?
Use the willpower.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, because you're a shooting ace.
Yes, I am.
So what's your dex and firearms?
My dex 2. My firearms is 2.
So
but
you're 4.
I did take quick draw.
Okay. Since you're drawing it and shooting in the same turn, that'll count. So you're basically at +5, -5. Are you spending willpower to get 3 dice?
Yes.
Are you risking it to get 9 again?
Heck yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, we got 35 minutes left.
Shoot him.
So how many dice is this now?
This is going to be 3.
3 altogether?
Altogether, because the -5 drops you to 0, and then the 3 brings you back up.
Gotcha. Okay, so 3 altogether, and I'm getting 9 again. And 1. Okay, 1 so far. 2. 3. 3 successes.
Okay, and it is a regular pistol, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that means that
It is a light revolver.
Okay, so I believe that's a +2 weapon. So that means that you are going to do 5 levels of lethal damage.
Wow.
Yeah, guns are gross. Okay, so your shot is going to punch directly through the breast of his blazer. It should have nicked his heart the way that it went in, and blood will begin welling through the lilac shirt that he's wearing, and he'll look down and stumble backwards. Alfreida, how could you?
I'm sorry, Baxter, but you can't be one of them.
How could you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry too. And he's going to lunge forward. By the way, gain back. You did not actually spend that willpower, and you gained one more on top of that.
Ooh.
What's your
Yeah.
defense?
Oh God, my defense 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's not quite as tough as he could be, so.
Okay.
But I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my God!
Oh
No.
This is gonna be good. Make it good.
Oh my God! This is gonna be.
Oh, make it
Ellie-
horrendous. Make it gross. Make
Okay,
it
so
gross.
you're gonna
I
shoot
love
him.
your smile, but I hate to see it.
How many health boxes do you have?
I have
Dangerous question.
that I have checked off.
Total. Like, what's your
8.
stamina? 8.
My
Thank God.
stamina's 3. Stamina's
So
3.
you have
Health
thank
is 8.
God.
Yeah.
He is in front of you a second later, just, and you're going to feel a pressure,
Oh,
and your legs are going to go jellied
yeah.
as you glance down. He has punched his hand through you, has gripped you around the spine for 7 points of lethal damage, is going to grab you by the spine underneath your ribcage, and is going to hurl you 20 feet across the room,
Oh.
imposing the knockdown tilt. So you are near the door to the stair, or pardon me, the stairwell down, and are gushing blood. Your like organs that you cannot identify
Oh,
are
man.
dangling out of your stomach.
I've been there, done that. I mean, for real.
It's true. He is going to turn to Delores and say, "Delores, give me the piece." And his jaw starts to descend. This is probably a bad idea, by the way. And don't forget, you're playing Hunter. Running is always an option. Delores, it's your turn.
True.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
He wants the thing.
The
Is it
fuse.
glass?
It is in a brass casing. So you would need something heavy to destroy it, like the spanner, for example.
Blah, 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 blah. I don't have that anymore. It got shot out of my hand.
It's just it's on the floor. You can grab for
okay.
it.
It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah, if that's what he wants, I'm gonna look down at it and
Or you could
grab
shoot
the
it.
spanner. And well, I'm not that good of a shot. I'll just try to crush it.
Okay, sounds good. Picking up the spanner, you're going to slam it down. Can you give me, and what I want you to do is just give me a strength and weaponry roll. I want to see how much damage you do.
Can I use willpower?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can
Yeah,
I risk
do it.
willpower for 9 again?
Yeah, on this one you can.
Okay.
So +3 and 9 again. Go.
One.
That is enough with the spanner. Bringing it down, there's going to be a cacophonous, it's going to actually probably sound like you stepping on like a half-full Coke can. So
Yeah.
as it shatters across the floor, and you'll hear "No!" echo out of his mouth with 3 voices screaming at once, and another one echoes out of Thelma's mouth, actually. As that occurs, you still have your movement. Do you want to get the hell out of here?
I would like to get to Helen first and try to help her out.
Okay, you can help Helen to her feet and still make your move. Helen, Delores is next to you trying to help you up. What do you do?
Yeah, I would like to be standing, so
That sounds fantastic.
do
Raising to your feet, you can move your full movement. Your speed is probably around between 12 and 15 for both of you.
who else? Okay, so what's everyone doing right now in the room?
So, let's see. So, Alfreida
Just
is
bleeding in a
next to the
corner.
stairwell.
know.
Jack is wrestling Thelma, and Delores is picking you up and trying to run as Baxter is freaking out about the broken part of his machine.
Sorry, what's Alfreida doing?
Bleeding over
Bleeding
by
out.
the stairwell out of here.
Bleeding.
Like
She
on
just
the
had
way
her
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go that way and
Yeah.
try to collect her on the way.
Sounds good. All right, so you will be able to try to help her to her feet. So Kelle, you are at a -2 to all actions unless you
Yeah.
spend willpower, because that's a
Okay.
lot of blood.
Yep.
Okay. Next on the list, it is Thelma. Thelma, Jack is right in front of you.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about burning my 3 to influence people to stay in the room.
I think you burned your bridges when you tried to shoot them. So I
True,
think that
true.
I think
Yeah,
that one's
that's
gonna.
burned. Yep, that one's gone. Yeah,
That's
fair
sorry
enough.
about that.
Fair
Sorry
point.
about that.
Then Thelma's gonna punch Jack in the face.
Punch
It's
because he's
Hollywood,
got
but we're
the
not
gun right in
that
front of him.
Oh, okay, then I'll shoot the gun in front
Cool.
of him.
Sounds good. He'll get his
Yep.
defense, but like.
fair point.
So Jack, what's your defense?
2.
2. So subtract 2 from your roll. Dex and firearms. You can spend willpower if you'd like to add dice. You just can't risk it because you're
Yeah.
under the influence.
That's fine. I will spend a willpower, because why not?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot.
So that's
Okay.
going to be.
Exactly.
And in this case, I will allow you to use either dexterity or strength and firearms.
I will use dexterity. My strength is 1.
Sounds good.
All right, and then... Okay, so then minus...
So minus 2 total.
Yep,
So
okay.
you'll be at a total of +1 to whatever your pool is.
Yeah.
And 10's reroll stuff.
I'm so sorry, James.
It's Hunter.
I-
It happens.
I rolled...
Cat-
Did you know
5
James was once
successes.
killed by
Okay,
Thelma
so that's
Valentine?
going to be 7 points of lethal damage, James.
Okay, that I have 7 health.
Okay, so at 7, you are going to be you're not dead. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I
So
think I'm down,
you're
right?
on your way. You're on your way
I rolled
toward
3
that.
9s, 2 8s, and a 1.
Nice.
Oh man,
Jesus.
that is beautiful. So real quick, I just want to double check because we use slightly different house rules when we play around the house.
Cal,
If
I
so,
love that.
if your track is filled with lethal damage, each point of further damage upgrades it to aggravated damage. Turn the leftmost X, blah blah blah. You take an additional point of lethal damage every minute. So what I'm gonna say is that normally you have to make a stamina roll to remain conscious every turn if you are full of bashing. I'll say that you can do it for lethal because it's a one shot, and that way you're not out of the game immediately.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
So where exactly do I get shot?
It's going to be right in the solar plexus, right at the soft, squishy bit. There's going to be
Ow.
a pop, and then blood is going to start dribbling down your stomach.
I'll probably like blood on you, Thelma.
Yep,
And then
it's
he'll
going to just
probably, like-
splatter. Thelma, make me
He'll probably
a
just stumble backwards.
make me another resolve roll.
Okay. Yes!
What'd you
2
get?
successes!
You beat my 1. As that happens, you are going to shake yourself free of the influence that has claimed your mind and realize you just shot this dude in the stomach.
And I think that's a great time for me to fall over.
Okay. Would you like to follow? You could try. Make me a stamina roll.
Oh, it's
I'm gonna
so
say this stamina roll. No, not at all. Okay. So
I got 2 and 3.
I will say you
Got
can spend a
none.
willpower to
Almost
stay
like
conscious.
I'm never getting back in movies.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably like fall over, and then I'll spend a willpower, and well, I guess on my action I'll spend, or do I spend
It's
willpower?
your
now?
action right now.
Okay, I will spend willpower and be like, "Ugh," and start crawling towards the
Sounds
stairs. just
good.
leaving a
You can
blood trail as
scramble
I
to
go.
your feet, holding in the blood, and make your full movement.
Napkin, dearie?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Sounds good. You can actually use double movement and move past them. You could run down the stairwell.
Oh God. Okay.
You didn't dodge the draft to get shot, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. Why
know, he
not? I
did.
will shove them out of the way and go down the stairs.
All right,
Could
fantastic.
do I have a movement that I could have run away after I
Yes,
snapped out?
yes,
or
you
does this-
can. You
Cool,
can-
because Thelma will also book it the fuck out of there because she's like,
All
nope.
right. So, Jack, you are going to mill down the stairwell, almost half falling down the spiral stairwell, and are going to end your turn pushing through the painting onto the landing of onto the hallway on the second floor of the mansion. And it's at that time that you're going to hear the strangest thing. Maybe the fire department's here because the front door, you hear Maybe the police are here. Maybe they heard the screaming.
Fire department.
All right. That is going to be back at the top of the initiative with Alfreida. Alfreida, all of you have gathered at the base of the stairwell. You have been picked up, and Thelma has run over now, kind of going, like doing the elbow run with her gun in the air.
And I think she's probably like, I probably dropped it, to be honest, at that point.
Yep.
Like, after shooting him, she probably dropped it and ran, because she's just like, nope.
Behind you, what do you do, Alfreida? Do you just run?
Yeah, as much as I possibly could at this point.
Sounds fantastic. You can just hold your guts in and run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Do
that.
I have a chance to take a quick backward glance?
Yes, you do. As
Okay.
you look back, you will see that Baxter's knees reverse.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah, why not?
His jaw descends and
Yeah.
pardon me, distends, and you
Yeah.
see that his lower jaw is jutting out like a bear trap, and his
Great.
eyes are glowing
Great.
red in the moonlight. His claws, he didn't have claws before.
No, he didn't.
No, just his regular claws.
He didn't have backward knees either, but this is where
He looks
we
like
are.
he's ready to pounce. You are going to run like hell. Running down,
Yep.
you are further, so holding your guts in. You are going to push past the bleeding Jack and make it to the stairwell going down. You're going to hear scratching and the sound of like axes on
He's
the
still
inside
coming.
of the front door. Actually, someone's trying to break in.
Great. Great.
And
What else is
okay.
coming? Great.
Baxter's coming. So
yeah,
you won't
take
escape.
that's fine. I'll take whatever's at the door.
So that is going to be Delores. What is your defense?
Oh, 3.
3. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Oh no. It's too many dice.
Okay. Damn,
many
son.
dice.
You are going to hear the sound of the floorboards give way behind you as a surprisingly heavy body for a 110-pound man springs across the floor, and you are going to take 3 points of lethal damage as claws rake down your back. Stay with me, Kenneth. I can make you the man you've always wanted to be.
You're not in right now.
Delores, it's your turn.
I am going to continue down. If Alfreida has kind of made her way in front of me, awesome. But I'm also trying to make sure that Helen is getting out as well.
Sounds good. Making your way down, you will make your way down over to the stairwell that kind of just, remember, it forms like a C shape kind of over the front door. And the three of you will start to make your way down the door. Helen, are you just going to try to move?
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Now we are back to
We'll
Thelma.
reserve a handkerchief for Dolores' back.
Sounds good. As you are rushing down the stairwell, Thelma, you are the only one who is still in this room. What do you do?
Get the fuck out.
Baxter looks at you and with that lopey jaw smiles at you. His tongue lolls out so covered with green slime and blood that it almost, well, it's like watching a length of rope fall to the ground. You've seen this expression on many men in the past.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. I said the casting couch. You know, she's seen that expression many times.
Bawooga! He does it like a wolf whistle. All right, so do you just run like hell?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, can she pick up her gun now that she's dropped it?
Well, you dropped it where you shot Jack, so you'd have to scuttle
Right.
back and then scuttle back.
No,
Just
no.
run,
So
just
she'll run,
run.
and then just like
Run.
if she sees anything on the way out that could be an improvised weapon, she might grab it on the way out. If there's like.
Sure, there is a candlestick at
Cool.
the base of the stairwell that you can kind of like crank off.
Yup, she's gonna crank off as she's running because she's gonna
All
like
right.
shit.
That's great. I love it. And then Jack, it's your turn. Are you just gonna run,
Oh yeah, I think so. I have to do a roll to stay conscious, right?
or spend a willpower?
Yeah, I think I'm just burning willpower now.
All right. I'm gonna say the lot of you. Oh, by the way, Thelma, important question. Last one out. Do you shut the painting?
Yes.
Okay, so it slams shut with a crunch. All right, the rest of you are all going to kind of convene. You spent the willpower, so you're good. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to round the stairwell, and as you do, you are going to hear an explosion from behind you of broken wood and painting and canvas explodes everywhere as the genial look of Baxter Crowell explodes outward, releasing the monster that has become him. It's totally metaphorical. It's beautiful. And he slams the ground, and all of your writer brains are like,
The xenomorph queen just emerges from the painting.
and as you round the landing of the stairwell and make your way to the front door, the door buckles and explodes inward. And it's at that time, and I'm sorry that only the chat can hear this, you will hear a noise that you did not expect. The sound of a cacophonous wolf's howl bellows into the room as 3 wolves the size of Buicks run into the room, followed by a baying creature almost 10 feet tall, a hybrid of wolf and man. And I need everyone here to do me a big favor, and that is you all are going to roll that's going to be a -2, -5. Cool. I need you all to make me a resolve and composure roll at a -5.
Well, that's
Can we
negative
use
1 for
willpower?
me.
You can spend it. I'll let you risk it this once.
Okay, I'll risk it.
Like,
I have
2 dice.
1.
I have -1. What
You roll a chance dice, so you roll a 1.
Okay.
And you hope for
Yeah.
a 10 or a 1.
Alrighty.
You are not supposed to succeed this roll as a normal person, by the way.
Okay.
I risked
Fair.
and I failed.
Cool. You are
Ditto!
going...
Holy
Ditto!
crap.
Risked and failed as well. Ditto!
Oh my...
I got a 1. I got a
All right.
1.
You got a
I
1?
got a 1
okay.
on, 1 on chance. I got a 1 on chance.
And I
Okay.
just
What's the
failed.
difference
I
between
didn't risk
spending
or
willpower
anything
and
like that. I
risking
just
willpower?
failed.
Risking willpower can give you 9 again, or additional benefits, but if you fail, it's a dramatic failure.
And what's spending willpower?
You just spend a point and get
You
3
just
dice.
spend it. Yeah.
Okay. I got a 1.
You got one success? Holy crap, good job. So...
She's
with-
seen some shit.
Yeah,
She's
so
seen some
here's the
shit.
deal. On a success, you are going to... Yeah, actually, that's with Lesser Lunacy, too. You are going to remember this scene with some jitteriness, but you are going to remember seeing... You know what a werewolf looks like. You've been in a werewolf movie. That's an actual fucking werewolf. However, everyone who dramatically failed lose 2 points of integrity immediately because your brain is broke. If you... And I want you each to roll me 1d10.
And have we just failed, Kelly?
Just failed. If you fail, you lose 1 dot of integrity, and you will gain the delusion condition. I want you to make up a story of what actually kicked through that door. Chainsaw wielding maniacs.
Okay.
5.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
If you did you dramatically fail?
I got the 1 on the chance.
You got the 1. Yes, you dramatically failed.
Oh,
Perfect.
nice.
Okay, so 3. Actually, everybody roll me 2d10. So roll another dice and add a 2, because I realize there are more things there.
No.
Am I
Everybody
rolling
do-
these as well?
10? Yes, if you dramatically failed, do this. 1, 2, 3,
Oh, okay.
4.
So just
5,
add the
6,
dice together?
7, 8. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled,
Sounds
okay,
fantastic.
I rolled 10. Okay, and 3. That was my first dice. My second dice.
Okay.
14. No, 17. Sorry.
17.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I know.
So that
This
was
is gonna be
9,
bad.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna change that. Okay, and what'd you get, Christa?
15.
Okay. Okay.
Also, I'm sorry, my landlord is vacuuming. I'm not sure. If you
It's
can hear
not
that.
it's
No,
not
you
perceptible.
can't hear you.
All right.
Okay, good.
As you see this, you are all going to all of you that dramatically failed are going to remember this as a strange wave washes over you, and looking up into the sky, you are going to see the full moon beating down on you, and are going to feel terrified and comforted at the same time. The wolves rush past you, except for the large one, which looms overhead, sticks its face directly into Jack and Helen's, and breathes. And in a language that 3 of you will understand somehow, for the briefest moment, the 3 of you that failed, you will hear, "Clear." The wolf creature will look over the 3 of you, flare its mighty nostrils, and smile before they rush past along with the other wolves. And in a howl of rage, you hear Baxter, torn limb from limb like a Dungeness crab.
Get the butter.
Blood rolls through, pours down the stairwell. And with that, you escape into the night. You survive, although it is a bare thing. Jack, you have a phenomenal story to tell, should you find yourself brave enough to do so. Your fingers never come back, Helen, but you're an old woman with a lot of money. After your experience... Yeah, you have your pinky. After your experience, you reach out to others who may have had similar supernatural experiences and will receive a calling card from a local, country club. Their label has a stylized A beneath a raven's face, and it says, "Dear Miss Edelmann, we've kept an eye on you for quite a while, and we believe that you might have what it takes to join our organization. Your breeding and experience with things of great interest are impeccable. We welcome you to join us at our estate for a hunt. Signed, the Ashwood Abbey."
Ooh.
Jack, your trauma is going to be very lingering, so I'm not exactly sure what happens to Jack after this, to be honest. The rest of you are going...
I think he might fall into drink for a while.
Fall into drink?
Kind of work it out from
So
there.
just regular writer stuff.
Yeah.
regular writer stuff.
Yeah.
And
Regular writer stuff.
if you feel so compelled, you might find some drinking buddies and join a very special type of writers' union. Blue-collar people who like to write stories of the occult from within. The other 3 of you, however, are going to have a much more interesting time, for Thelma, you find that after this night, the scars, mental scars that is, heal surprisingly quickly. A young, handsome man begins approaching you at various places around the city, a young actor. But that's not the only thing that approaches you. You find that cats and dogs linger around you. Wherever you go, even on set, stray dogs follow you and watch you with the, particularly dogs, cats as well, but especially black stray dogs follow you and watch you, and will for the rest of your life. The actor, this handsome man, approaches you, says that his name is Mark Silver. He has a production that he'd like to talk to you about. Especially because you remind him of some other members of his family. Christa, Delores as well will find her way into this side studio, Silver Moon Productions, where you will find yourself working alongside of some of these people as well, doing script revision. It's always strange that whenever it's warm inside, you don't notice this, but everyone can tell when you're around. Something about your scent. Something about the pheromones inside of your sweat and blood and other fluids gives you away. It's not displeasant. Not unpleasant. And in fact, should you seek a husband, wife, or fling among several of the, well, let's call them a pack of studio workers, you will never, ever be at want for companionship. You'll find that this place treats you rather egalitarianly, but will support your wish to remain as Kenneth Anderson for purposes of publication. And finally, it's a good thing that Alfreida was a voice actress first. The scar that takes up most of your stomach is definitely a deterrent from any of the forthcoming 50s and 60s beach films. But your voice is as strong as...
She's too old for them anyway, yeah.
Also, strangely enough, you find that you now possess an immense birthmark along your shoulder and throat in the shape of, well, looks like a howling wolf. It's only a little after your recovery that you're approached by a young female producer with a feral gleam in her eyes that asks whether or not you'd like to do some sound work for an upcoming film. It's a good one, she promises.
Of course.
It's called Mission to the Werewolf Planet. And you as well fall into Silver Moon Productions. And the rest of the pack. But that's a story for next time. And that's where we draw our story to a close. All right, guys, that is the end of this episode of Fear and Golden Promise of Tomorrow. Did you guys have fun?
Boise.
Oh, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Loved it.
Love getting
Full horror
possessed.
movie.
He got possessed. So for those of you who want to know what happened, basically he was being corrupted by a spirit that somehow taught him how to make a gate into the spirit world, got possessed. Then you almost got possessed as well by a spirit of perfection. Although it's not a good perfection. Don't think that I'm endorsing that perfection. He wanted to continue opening this Avernal gate. Avernal's different, but I forget what the exact term is. And the pack of werewolves went, spirit shit, and then went over there to stop it.
Thank God. Our
I
healers.
loved that little twist at the end. That was good.
What, the werewolf showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You three are wolf-blooded now.
I know.
Nice.
I figured.
Which is so good, because I had to do the lunacy roll. The original plot was there were two other options for this. The original framing was always the same. The first one was that he was struggling with writer's block and was going to eat one of your brains to overcome his block, and was going to invite you to participate in the devouring, and it was going to be a lot drawing adventure.
Oh.
That could have been good. I feel like that would work better for a parlor LARP than for a one-shot of this.
Yeah.
And then the other one was different forms. He was going to be sheltering a deviant from Deviant the Renegade, and was going to let you do an interview with a monster. And then, of course, the deviant's handlers were going to show up, and you'd have to try to survive that. That was a little too much combat. This one was just, you have to get out of the room, and you have to not die.
Not
I worked really hard at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was two. It was, I hope you had a lot of fun today, and I hope you had fun watching here at Onyx Path, or at Onyx Path Publishing Con. If you like what we do here, we are the Dork Tales team. You can find us at twitch.tv/dorktales. We're here on Occultists Anonymous, doing some work for OPP Con. We'll be here tomorrow with a version of this type of game that is set in the pirate era of the 1700s.
That I thought was this morning.
You did. I appreciate you so much.
I kind of wish
okay,
you had
Christa.
come dressed up as a pirate, though, Christa. It would have been just kind of awesome.
I spent like a half hour putting like latex and effects stuff, and then at literally 7:29 when we were supposed to join the call at 7:30, I was like, this is the wrong game, and I had to rip latex off my face. Oh my god.
All right.
Although you could have played
I
it
did the
off
same
as
thing
I thought it
almost.
was a Halloween party.
Yeah, I have my whole pirate setup like off to the side here, and I was like 10 minutes
beautiful.
before. I'm like,
So
wait, oh dang.
if you like Chronicles of Darkness games, what you want to do is you want to click the follow button down here as well for Occultist Anonymous. They run Mage, The Awakening, and a ton of other great stuff. They're a really solid channel. Do support them, and stick around here for more Chronicles of Darkness stuff over the rest of the weekend. With that, everybody just do a quick say who you were, where they can find you, and then we'll get out of here so the next group can get in.
Yeah.
Kelle, you go first.
Okay, hey, I've been Kelle from up the road, and you can find me on twitch.tv/darktales, and upcoming, I think Kelly and I have a project or two coming.
Oh,
Stay
they're going to be
tuned.
good. That'll be a podcast thing.
Yeah.
All right, Christa, where can we find you? Who are you?
Hi, I'm Christa. You can find me at ChahistaFX on TikTok or Lasercomb on podcasts. I do a podcast about movies based on books and the books they're based on. And you can also find me over at Darktales on all sorts of fun stuff.
Nice. All right. I almost said Helen. Natasha.
All right, I'm Natasha Tuskovich. You can find me on Twitch at Natasha Tuskovich Designs and as well on YouTube and the rest of the internet. So take a look. I'm a fashion designer and I do streams for Work With Me and art and fashion.
And if I may say so, when you are not a 60, 70-year-old Jewish woman, you are an absolute dish. So
Yes.
definitely you'll enjoy that. James.
Surprisingly, I'm not 72 years old. Could you tell?
It's just you finally turned 30 is what happened. And then it just, they all came in at once. All right.
And I'm James. I stream on Twitch as Otheon, but mostly you can find me over there at Dork Tales, just working with their stuff, and that's pretty much my story. Yeah.
All right. And Robin.
Bring us home, Robin.
I've been Robin, and it's been an absolute joy. I'm mainly over on Dork Tales.
And Second Gen Gamer.
I was getting to Second Gen Gamer second because it's Second Gen Gamer,
Okay,
so it has
fair.
to go second. So yeah, you can find me on Twitch on Second Gen Gamer, where I do streaming when I'm not usually streaming with Dork Tales.
True. And I've been Kelly. I'm the guy at Dork Tales. So hopefully we'll see you there soon. Hope you enjoy the rest of Onyx Path Publishing Con weekend. And good luck on your vigil, everybody. You're going to need it. Bye.